I think we've just passed the hour 2 marker in our Skyrim Playathon extravaganza. If you're just now tuning in, I'm Maxwell McGee. I'm joined by Carolyn Pettit, Justin Calvert, and Kevin Van Ord. I'm playing on the PC. They're all playing on the console because, you know, whatever. That's just how they roll. They're also way ahead of me and doing tons more interesting stuff. I'm stealing potions and swords and trying to kill bandits. So we hope you guys get a kick out of this. We got a chat going on, so if you have any questions or if you want us to do dumb things or make a fool of ourselves, feel free to ask and they will pass it along to us and we will be compelled to do it.
Well, we will actually make fools of ourselves on our own without the prompting of
yes, we need help. We need help making fools
Want to see Kevin jump to his death from the tallest mountain we can find?
That happens.
Just, you know, ping us on Twitter or something, we'll have him do it.
It's one of those gambled and lost things. You'll be up there and think, well, I can just jump down to the little ledges, you know? I won't fall. Of course, then poor Lydia takes the long way down. You know, a week later, she's finally there.
I think the only time I've actually fallen off mountains was on my horse.
Oh my goodness!
And then I always ended up reloading because I.
Did the horse die when you did that, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it broke the fall for me, so.
Thanks, little buddy.
Ultimately, that 1,000 gold was a pretty good investment.
Well spent, money well spent.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate when they cast ice bolts and things like that, because then I'm slowed way down.
So somebody, Ospawn, is asking, are same-sex relationships possible in the game? I don't know that relationships, period, are possible in the game. Are they, Kevin?
I didn't come across anything that would be considered like a romantic relationship.
It's a lonely life being a hero.
The Dragonborn is a lonely existence.
Yes.
That doesn't mean such a thing doesn't necessarily exist, but if it does, I haven't come across it in 80-some hours of play. On the other hand, I can pretend. I mean, if I want to pretend that I have a relationship with some dude in the game, I mean, there's nothing that's going to stop me.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Justin had some trouble pretending he and Lydia were having something going on.
That's true. Might have had something to do with the fact that I don't value her life at all.
And clearly you know, you don't enjoy horse company, considering what you were telling us earlier. So.
Yeah, and in fairness, probably my just trying to take her back to my place and, without so much as a hello, just trying to remove her armor.
Yeah, I mean, buy her a drink first, at least.
Yeah, I mean, there are better ways to woo a woman, I think.
But you gotta give her stuff. The thing is with Lydia, she wants you to give her better stuff, and then she'll put it on.
Traveler, you must have
you're right. She's a gold digger.
She ain't nothing but a gold digger.
Have anything interesting to tell me? The Greybeards are a strange bunch. I heard they
have any of you guys done much in the way of blacksmithing? Because I feel like I sort of did a bit early on, and I was like, oh, this seems really cool, and then I just haven't done any.
I haven't really done much blacksmithing. I've done some to check it out, but like enchanting was kind of my thing.
Right.
Twice before you do. My daughter's driving me crazy. So forgive me if I'm a bit on edge.
Alright.
They call it the path to the monastery to 7,000.
I'm now looking for this staff.
Can you imagine? I'm not certain if I could even make it to the top without collapsing.
There's a lot of mages and necromancers down here. I like the term necromage.
Right up there with.
Is that an in-game term or a Kevin Van Ord?
It's an in-game term.
With conjure, it's right up there with conjure mage.
I just cast my. I just performed my fire breath shout. I do love picking me some locks, but I'm running out of lock picks. I've never actually bought lock picks in the game at all. I always use ones that I find.
You find plenty.
Until you try to do too many master or adept locks and keep breaking them like me. Come on. Oh gosh, I bet you can, although I never have tried it.
So, sorry, what was that name again? Lloyd Mog is asking if you can dual wield shields. That's a really good question. I haven't tried it. I'll as soon as I'm done conversing with this farmer, I will try it because I'm pretty sure I do have 2 shields on me.
Thank you.
I
Divine
have
bless
one
your
equipped.
kind heart.
Oh, I just bit the dust.
Rita!
Ice spells are definitely my bane.
Oh, sorry. I will get out of this conversation in a second.
I don't even think I have any shields. They're
I know, I'm
for
looking to
wusses.
see if I have any shields. I don't think that I do.
Shields
Well,
are for
I have
wusses.
I only have 1 shield.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have 2.
Let your skin take the damage like a man, Justin. Put hair on your chest,
Disrespect the law.
as my mom would say.
Okay, so shields. Let's have a look. So I now have a banded iron shield. Let's have a look. Okay. Oh no, I guess you can't because I just tried to equip that one in my right hand, and all it did was replace my other shield from that I was carrying in my left hand. So yeah, the answer is no. Only 1 shield. I've got disoriented now. Where was I going?
Hour 2 is going all right for me. I currently picked up a bounty back at what's the first town called? Like Riverwood? Is that it?
Yeah, Riverwood.
Riverwood. I picked up a bounty from the inn at Riverwood and followed it out to this bandit camp, and I'm looking for like the leader of the bandits, and I'm gonna totally light him up with my orc. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. I know a commenter earlier wanted to know like if this game was hard to get into if you hadn't played the other Elder Scrolls games in the past, and I actually haven't played a whole lot of those games in the past, but I haven't had any trouble so far getting into this game. It's very friendly up front. I'm not gonna mess with blacksmithing right now though. I've got bandits to work. I'm also playing in the third-person view, as you can see, and I haven't had any problems with it so far.
I'm about to undertake a story-related endeavor, which involves climbing what are referred to as the 7,000 steps. I wonder if there actually are 7,000 of these.
That will take the rest of the rest of our life play to get through.
Yeah.
It's a long trek, but it's a nice one. The scenery is quite lovely up there.
Yeah, it's already very scenic. I mean, I just departed from the farm town at the base of the mountain, and and I'm already being attacked by a nice wolf.
That's all right. Maybe you'll do the kill animation that looks like he's giving you a big hug. A big toothy hug.
Toothy hug.
I think I actually have a screenshot of that in the PC review, which, mind you, is up on GameSpot.com. Not that I'm suggesting you walk away from this incredible stream, but if you're interested to see what we think of Skyrim.
There really are some lovely, just atmospheric touches in this game. Like, I'm noticing, really for the first time here, that there's kind of leaves, blowing in the wind, coming off of these autumn trees. It's a nice little touch.
Oh yeah, it's funny. I felt like Oblivion was obviously a nice looking game.
Oh yeah.
But it also was here's a typical fantasy place looking kind of game. I always actually felt that I was more immersed when I played Morrowind in terms of sense of place. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Skyrim sort of harks back to that, where, sure, it's a snowy area, it's different in terms of the overall, climate, but some of my favorite moments in in Morrowind we're getting caught in a dust storm. We talked about it yesterday, actually, and it sort of reminds me of the same thing here when you're caught in a snowstorm, and that sort of thing. It just has that. It has that atmosphere that I think Oblivion lacked.
It feels more like a living world.
Yeah, and it's more off kilter. Everything has sort of a dark edge to me, which I think is a really great, way of contrasting. You think of snow as being clean and white and fresh and what have you, but there's a strong undercurrent of misdeeds and terrible things lurking under the surface in Skyrim, as you know from the fact that I eat human flesh. But nobody would know that, unless they saw that I was munching, on ooh, mammoth snout, just in your, I don't remember ever seeing a mammoth snout.
Yeah, I was wondering if I need to. It looks like I could.
The tusk will come in handy because there's a woman who will ask for you to get one.
I have that quest.
Excellent.
And fortunately, I did not even have to kill a mammoth to get that tusk. I found a mammoth that had already been killed by a giant.
I went to do one of the kill giant bounties, and I ended up getting a mammoth tusk in a very interesting way, which is as I approached. Now, giants usually have mammoths with them in their camps. And as I was approaching, I saw one of the mammoths, because this was a case where the giant had 2 mammoths with him, and I had tried the fight once.
Got your back.
And when I had arrived,
As you wish, my
a
friend.
mammoth spawned in the air and landed on the back of the other mammoth, and then slid off. But then I died when I tried to defeat the giant, because they're tough cookies. Giants are much harder to defeat than dragons. But the second time I went back to do it, the mammoth spawned again in midair, but hundreds of feet up, and immediately fell to its death. So that's how I managed to get my mammoth tusk, as kind of a bug.
So Ryan Bellamy, 1994. Did I get that right? Is asking what the jobs are like. I'm in town right now, so I can go and show you the kind of wood chopping job. You can do that in quite a few different places. I actually did it. It's an easy but very time-consuming way to make money, and I actually did do some of that when I was trying to save up for the house. Now I've just got to remember is this the inn up here? One of the inns here in town, you can chop wood right outside it. It's not that one. The cool thing about it is that it doesn't require any resources, so you're just kind of getting paid for showing up and pushing your button. The thing Bethesda do, which is really clever, is that they don't just let you turn it on and leave it going like a screensaver. So I've just pressed A now, and then he's going to chop wood. I don't have to do anything. He'll do it, I think, only 3 times. He collects 2 firewood each time he does it. And then if I want to do it again, you'll see he kind of looks up, so I need to push down with the right analog stick to target the block of wood again, and then press A to restart it. So it's not something you could easily kind of, rig up your controller to sort of be automated and just have them doing it over and over again. So yeah, I can do it again there. And I think each piece of firewood you get is worth 5 gold. So each time you do this, you get 30. Right now, that amount of money just seems really trivial. But at the early on in the game, that's not an insignificant amount of money. He's saving up for a horse, saving up for a house or something like that. And then I can just go in here and sell the firewood to the innkeeper. I think that's the only job I've done, actually. Have you guys done any other jobs?
No, I haven't. I did some firewood stuff, and what you're talking about it sort of reminds me of you can mine with a pickaxe, and it's the same kind of thing where it just automatically does it on its own without turning stuff into a QuickTime event or anything. I'd rather chop wood in Skyrim than I would in Fable 2.
Yeah. Yeah, opportunities to mine are few and far between, aren't they? Like, I bought a pickaxe, and I have found I don't know, the whole time I've been playing, I've only found 7 or 8 mining spots.
I'm always hoping that some of the random things that you find in the world will turn into some kind of task that you can do. I always see these embalming tools, and I always think, boy, I want to embalm something. But no, I never have gotten a chance to actually embalm.
You are so messed up, Kevin. When you're not eating people, you want to embalm them.
Well, cannibals are...
Are they two mutually
into death.
exclusive, Kevin? Would you embalm someone and then eat them?
No, I would eat them first.
First?
Okay. Wow.
Well, no, not fully. I would nibble.
Like, all right, I'm good. Forget I said anything.
What was the name again, Justin? I'm sorry. Kantama88, I hope I got that right, wants to know whether the dragons look different from each other or whether they're just separated by coloring. And as far as... I never really inspected them all that closely because, you know, when you're fighting them, you're more worried about the fact that their wings and, you know, claws are flapping everywhere. But there doesn't appear to be a huge difference between dragons in terms of the way they're
like the models, right?
They're modeled, right. They all look pretty much alike. It's not like in Dark Souls, for example, when every dragon looks different from the last. But there are some named dragons and some... I don't want to give anything in the story away, but there are dragons that are more important than others, and they do look different and much more epic than the more medium-sized dragons that you fight randomly in towns. But that's mainly size and the way they attack and so on and so forth.
Eventually, the star will fade back into my realm in Oblivion. But I doubt you have the heart or some years left. No, only one option remains. I will send you inside the star. You will banish Malin's soul there. Tell me when you are ready, mortal. Have faith, mortal. I will be watching over you.
My disciples have sent me a fresh soul. Good. I was getting...
Because this mage was using it
Why?
as a container
There's something
for his
different
soul.
about you.
And who are you to challenge me? I have conquered mortality itself. I've spat in the eyes of the Daedric lords. This is my realm now. I've sacrificed too much to let you take it from me.
Stringer Dev is asking if there's something similar to the arena in Oblivion's Imperial City. Not that I've found. How about Kevin? I mean,
No, 80. You know, over 80 hours in, and I haven't found anything that seems like a fighting arena.
Yeah, I mean but that doesn't necessarily mean it's not in there, right?
Right.
Because even 80 hours in, there's still a lot of stuff you haven't seen.
Oh, hello.
I'm like 20 something hours in now, and I've still only visited one major city. And I believe there are something like 9. Is that right, or 5? I can't remember the number. And
Let's take a look at the map. I don't want to say a number, but
yeah,
it's more like 5 than 9. I don't
Okay.
think that there are 9 major cities.
right.
But
Either
there are
way,
plenty of villages. And
20 hours in, I'm still kind of messing with the first one. So
So the game just reminded me that it only saves when you like enter or exit a building, like auto saves.
More or less, yeah.
Well, yeah, for the most part, because I was on my way up the 7,000 steps, and died and not having auto-saved, or not having manually saved, rather.
Yeah.
I'm now back at the bottom and must begin the trek once again.
Yeah, welcome to my world, because the same thing just happened to me, but it didn't save before I transitioned to the star, so it's actually making me go back to initiate the entire quest's ending again.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad habit to get into, is it? Like,
Yeah, just
manually
saving
saving
now.
every now
Oh
and
yeah,
then.
I have tons of saves. So I'm back to the shrine. I'm going to try this again. It was really silly of me to die there. I thought that I was fighting just one enemy, and there was another one that caught me off guard. So. This time I'll save when I go in, if it allows me to save.
Please place your hands on the altar. Azura wishes to speak with you. Azura, Mother of Roses, Goddess of Dusk and Dawn, your chosen champion has returned your star to you.
That's
She
a
wishes
music.
to speak to you herself. Please,
Yeah, it definitely is more
place your hands
flavorful
on
than
the
Oblivion's
altar.
music.
You
Yeah.
will hear her voice.
I still think that Morrowind
Greetings,
had the
mortal.
best version of that theme.
You have followed my guidance through the veils of twilight.
Yeah, but
You
Morrowind, the
rescued
music was
my
so
star
noticeably
from
repetitive.
Mayhem Valley.
Yes.
In this game, it's often
But his
just
soul
kind of
still
in the background
resides
as you're
within,
exploring.
protected
it's kind
by
of
his enchantments.
subtle, but it really does
Until he is purged,
lend
my
something to
artifact
the
is
experience.
useless.
Some of my favorite tracks in Skyrim are the extremely quiet ones, the static ones. There's one in particular that is essentially just, you know, a single chord that has slight changes to it as it plays, but it's very static. There's really no melody to it at all, and it's actually one of my favorite tracks, simply because it's not trying too hard to be epic, and it makes it that much more atmospheric because it's different from what you would expect in a typical fantasy game.
I will be watching over you.
But I mean, there's still plenty of, you know, generic epic fantasy horns and things like that too in Skyrim.
My disciples have said, why? There's some... This is my realm. I won't...
Pardon me.
In each of us,
I guess Lydia doesn't come with me into the star.
So Carcanic is asking, how does the PC version compare visually to the console versions? I mean, from where I'm sitting, the PC version the Maxwell is playing looks pretty awesome.
It looks lovely. It really does. And it plays. I mean, it runs extremely well too. On my work PC, I had it at ultra high settings. It'll look to see and default to a particular setting, but I had every single setting cranked up to the highest, and I was getting a good 70, 80 frames per second through most of the gameplay. Now, granted, not everybody's going to have a PC quite as high powered as that one, but it looks beautiful. I mean, it's the kind of game that you're meant to enjoy its sights at a distance. If you start really staring at things close up, regardless of the platform, you'll see things that you might consider blemishes. You know, the way snow is painted on rocks and things like that isn't always very attractive.
Nothing? My lord.
I mean, you're looking at the PC version right now, as it turns out. Maxwell, how's it going with it?
It's going just fine. I'm looking to turn in my bounty, but people keep coming up and telling me things. Oh, I gotta tell them about the dragon attack, apparently.
As
But yeah, just
housecarl,
finished up
my job is to
some
deal with all
extensive item
dangers that threaten
crafting with the
yard.
local blacksmith. That was all pretty straightforward. You collect your ingots and your items, and you learn which stations correspond to crafting which items or improving which items, and then it's just a simple matter of clicking through the menus. Nothing too complicated.
Yeah, so I'm still trying to make my way up these steps. I did save this time, so that death that I just experienced won't be too much of a setback. But there are some ice wolves on the trail up the mountain, and they are giving me some trouble.
Yeah, I think I had some trouble with a troll on that trail, if I remember rightly. I think that was the first time I ever resorted to using dual-wielding magic. Yeah, you know what, I've got 2 quests that I want to turn in right now. And I'm having trouble finding the people to turn it into, and I think it's because they're in some town that's sort of near the top of this peak or something. This peak that I'm looking at right now. So yeah, it's taken me a little while. Yeah, so I have bows on my back. Arrows on my back now because I have been using a bow just a little bit. Whoa! And I did not know there were going to be bandits here. Really should look where I'm going. Oh, okay. They're not going to put up too much of a fight. But they're also not going to drop anything particularly good. Let's see if there's anything in this chest.
I have defeated Malin Varric within a star. Oops.
So Kontama88 is asking how customizable the armor is. It's not really customizable, but I think there's quite a lot of it. So right now I'm wearing. Oops. Let's just finish this guy off real quick. So if I put my weapons away, I can just kind of pan around my guy. So I'm just in all steel armor right now. But even within the steel set, there are kind of variants. Like I've had chest armor that just. I mean, it's the exact same stats, but it definitely looks different to this. This helmet is the exact same stats as the one I was wearing before, but this one has horns on it and the spike on top, which my last one didn't. And you can't really see them, but the boots, I've definitely had a couple of variants of those as well. And I know just from loading screens, I mean, you know, they flash up various different things, and it's definitely apparent that there are some really awesome armors you can get later in the game. I've got a set of like elven armor that looks really nice, but it's light armor, so it's not really in keeping with the way I'm trying to play this guy. And Kevin, I know you're. Oh no, was it you? Yeah, was it you? No, it was Justin Porter, who's one of the guys running video for us right now, who I know is saving up all of his dragon bits. His dragon scales and dragon bones, because at some point it looks like it's going to be possible to make some kind of dragon armor. So yeah, it's not really customizable as such. But,
well, it is in the sense that you can do enchantments.
Oh, you can you can enchant stuff, but I mean, I'm assuming he's talking about visually. I don't know.
Yeah. No, totally. But you know, I don't know. Let me take a look at the stuff that I've got on right now, because I've got, let's see, I've got gauntlets that allow me to smith, gauntlets of extreme smithing, so I can improve weapons and armor to be 22% better than when I'm not wearing them. So that's good for blacksmiths. I've got a helmet that gives me 20% better prices, plus 10 speechcraft, and 5% faster magic regeneration. I've got a ring that increases my stamina by 50 points, and I won't. I have to wear that ring to feed on corpses. So it will never come off. And then my plate armor gives me 15%. It improves my destruction because spells cost 15% less to cast. And my carrying capacity is increased by these boots. And then you can customize your own stuff, you know, when you find it, like when you do enchantments, by disassembling these things at an enchanting table.
Can I just say, I just had one of my favorite things happen. I just met the blind man who I think you talked about earlier, Caro. And I went to read his book, and all the pages are just blank.
I love that. That was a great little detail.
It's pretty great.
Yes.
I'm a little disappointed that my only option then was to take the book. I feel like I could have maybe left it for him.
Oh, you couldn't hit B to just set it to leave it there?
It didn't appear to be. I don't know. Maybe I could have.
And
I took his book.
Okay. I have just met this frost troll that you were just telling me about on the way up the mountain, and my bow is definitely not cutting it. I'm gonna try switch into magic here, see if that helps me out. Though that's hardly doing any damage either.
Do you have any shouts besides the?
I just have the force.
Oh.
One. Maybe I can just kind of run past him. Well, yeah, I understand fire would probably be the way to go against the frost troll. That's actually... Let me see if I have any...
For those of you wondering who Caro's talking to.
Oh, right, I was talking...
Justin Porter running video is offering tips.
We do, if you... Sometimes we may say things that seem strange. It's because we are talking to the voices in our heads.
And I just saw that you had fire breath as one of your shouts, Caro.
Oh, maybe I do. Do I? I guess I might.
So that will be super helpful, because that'll knock them back a little bit and keep them from attacking for a short period of time. So
I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can't unlock. Like I have it. I found it, but I can't unlock it yet.
Oh, right.
I don't have a dragon soul with which to unlock that one.
I saw it in your favorites list, so I thought you'd already...
Yeah, I thought because I saw it on the list, I thought I could use it, but then I realized that I can't use it.
It might be time to go kill a dragon.
Hey, any dragon wants to show up, I will be glad to kill it. Okay, here, flames. Let's try flames. I don't want to wait. I want to...
So Feral Arts is asking how the size of the world compares to Oblivion. Man, I don't know. What do you think, Kevin?
They're big.
Yeah.
They're both really big. Gosh, I don't want to say, because there's somebody out there that's going to compare square footage.
Yeah.
And prove me wrong. I want to say that it's bigger, but part of that could be from my impression that there are fewer dungeons and caves that are repeated.
Yeah, they definitely don't repeat stuff nearly as often, do they?
So it's one of those things where whether or not it's bigger, I'm not sure, but it certainly feels that way because there's a greater variety of places and environments. And my understanding is there's certainly a lot more to do, that where Oblivion might have been, maybe 150 hours or 200 hours, that this is a good 50 hours more of quests and whatnot to do.
So yeah, unfortunately, even flames with my meager destruction spell skills did very little damage against this guy, so I don't know that I'm going to try again just the run like a coward tactic, see if that gets me where I need to go.
I'm off swimming in the icy sea, which does not bother me in the least. Is Lydia? Okay, Lydia's back there. I always want to sing this song from The Muppet Show. Nobody probably remembers this but me, but Kermit sang a song about Lydia the Tattooed Lady. It's so sometimes I just break out into the song.
I think you're on your own with that one, Kevin.
I know, right? I'm so old. Oh yes.
Okay, so Omen Jamlord is asking if there are any references to characters from Oblivion.
I forget.
And Kevin already gave you a preview of the answer to that question, which is yes.
Yes, definitely. You know, Uriel Septum and folks are definitely mentioned, and there's entire quest lines built around the concept of the Oblivion Gates and their
though without
legacy.
forcing you to go into and close Oblivion Gates.
No, gosh, no. Who needs that?
Alright guys, so I think I'm about to get into my first dragon fight here. I'm rolling with Earolith, and we're headed out to investigate a reported dragon sighting. Do you guys have any tips on what I should look out for?
Just kill the dragon.
Or just don't get dead. Don't let him shoot fire in my face. Is that a good tip?
Yeah, just don't be embarrassed to hide when other people are fighting the dragon alongside you.
Okay.
I just hard crashed, so I gotta reset my machine. But it's a great screen that it crashed at. Like that's if it's gonna freeze, at least it looks dramatic.
Right now.
That's, I think,
oh, here we go. This is a nice little
the third time I've had a fourth time I've had a hard crash on the 360. But usually it happens only when you've been playing for many, many hours.
So we're just walking the path here. I'm taking in the nice view. This may be the nice scene that Kevin referenced earlier.
Yeah, the kind of Northern Lights effect,
Yeah.
which you see often in certain parts of the world. Really lovely.
But this one here has a darker edge because it looks like there's there's smoke in the sky. You know, the smoke is rising, and so it looks. It's a great contrast, isn't it? The beauty of nature against the darkness of humanity. Or orcanity, because Maxwell's an orc, right?
I am an orc. An orc! So it looks like the dragon's not here, but we're going to totally investigate, and hopefully he'll pop out, and I'm going to totally hit him in the face.
So do the people of Whiterun like you when you play as an orc?
They haven't had a problem with me so far. There was one guy in Riverrun who stopped me in the bar and said that I looked fuzzy and wanted to know what was wrong with me. But so far, that's the only thing that's happened.
I'm curious to know what happens. There's a little side mission when you come across an orc camp. I'm kind of wondering how they'll react to you as an orc if ever you get there.
All right, the dragon just showed up. Oh man, his fire spell is so much cooler than my fire spell.
That's it! We'll bring that bastard down!
Okay, so Robot Man 170 is asking if we can discuss some differences between Skyrim and Oblivion. I didn't finish Oblivion, but I think like a lot of people, that's because I just spent hours and hours kind of avoiding Oblivion gates because they really weren't fun. And I think, so one of the big differences I think in Skyrim is that it actually has a pretty compelling kind of story, right? I mean, I'm not that far into it. And as much as I keep getting distracted from the main quest, I actually do fully intend to see the story through, and and I'm interested to see how it plays out.
Well, that's the thing. Like, dragon fights are the new Oblivion gate, in a way.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And they're a heck of a lot more fun.
Yeah.
In terms of differences, I mean, obviously we've got the different leveling system. This is, I like this a lot because it sort of goes as you play and morphs itself around how you play, but still gives you enough manual control where you don't feel as though everything's just left up to the way the game wants it to be done. The story, I think, is an important difference.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in the story, and I say stories, not just main story, because the main story is actually pretty good, but it's also the side stories that are great and that kind of thing. I just think that it's really involving to get involved in the mages college and to join up with the Dark Brotherhood and get involved in kind of their political, internal struggles and all sorts of stuff like that. So that's stuff that could have been the main quest in any other RPG. Other differences.
The favorites thing is really useful, isn't it?
Oh, it's so
being able
convenient.
to map kind of different spells and weapons as favorites.
The interface just in general is completely retooled.
Way better.
Dual wielding is of course a big deal. The fact that I can put whatever I want in whatever hand. That's definitely a nice touch. A third-person view that feels good to play in.
Yep. And yeah, just it's something we mentioned earlier. Just that the dungeons and things that you find aren't all kind of cut and pasted. They're not. You very very rarely see two dungeons that even feel particularly similar, right?
Right.
I think you said you like once, Kevin, right? Like you were in a dungeon that was very reminiscent of another one.
Yeah, it was definitely the same design, but
Right.
but I hadn't noticed most of that kind of stuff. They all seem very different from each other. Another thing is the way you converse with people. No longer does the world stand still and you zoom in closely onto somebody's face
So
and watch
much better.
their waxy face kind of stare you down as you talk. That said, there's lots of things that are kind of the same. Some of those things would be things that you may not be considered in a good way, such as there's even though the third person is good, there's still a certain sense that in some combat situations that you're still kind of flailing around without always a great sense of connection.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, definitely coming off of the back of Dark Souls,
Yeah,
where the combat is so precise.
but compared to Oblivion, this is much tighter.
Yeah, it's much improved.
The movement still feels mostly similar. Jumping isn't fun. Never was, and still isn't
Right.
in my mind. And the character models are much more fluid than they were in Oblivion, but that doesn't mean that they're still not stiff in their own way. And of course, people talk over each other all the time in really annoying ways at times. You'll be standing there and trying to get some story exposition, and you'll have 5 people all reciting their lines, sometimes 2 people with the same voice actor reciting the same line. So that's carryover stuff from Oblivion. So there's obviously some things that are similar. But I hate to spend too much time nitpicking on that kind of stuff, because this is a big picture game, where some of the individual elements may not aren't all that perfect, but put them all together and they make something that really is far greater than some of its parts. Justin, your screen is gorgeous.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I've got the Northern Lights here looking kind of awesome. Looks kind of cool. This is the town I'm in is this town is the only one where I've walked in. I guess I'll walk in there now. There's this, I forget what they call it. It's not crypt, but it's something like that. And the first time I walked in, there was just this ghost of a guy in there who was just like, "Don't come in here," and I was just like, "All right, I won't." Like I just hightailed it out of there because it just seemed really kind of creepy, and I wasn't nearly as well equipped then as I am now. Pretty sure this was the place. Yeah, it's in here. Shroud Hearth Barrow. I can't remember what I need to there's something weird with ghosts, right? I remember thinking it's odd. Like, I think you can hit them with weapons, but not with magic. Is that right, Kevin?
Oh, really? I haven't done a whole lot with ghosts.
Yeah, I remember being really surprised. Like, the first time I met ghosts, I sort of switched over to spells. And,
You would think it'd be the other way around.
Yeah, you
ghosts
would.
were sort of incorporeal.
yeah, I just remember spells were not doing anything. I'm pretty sure this is the place. And I think I even have a quest in here, but yeah, I didn't like the look of it when I came here before. Okay, so Rory Murphy is asking how long the day and night cycle is. That's a really good question.
It's definitely not real time.
No, definitely not real time. Yeah, I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
Is it maybe like an hour to a day, do you think? Or 2 hours?
No, it's
to a day?
longer than an hour.
Yeah, maybe 2
For
hours
sure.
to a day.
Yeah, the nights they last quite a while.
And sometimes I lose track because when you fast travel, the game calculates travel time.
Right.
So, there are times where I sort of lose track of how that cycle moves because of fast travel. Of course, you don't have to fast travel. If you're, I know some people that, for example, loved Morrowind, didn't like the fact that they could fast travel in Oblivion, but, it's always a good reminder to mention, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can take the carriages. Pardon me again for, of all times, to get a sniffle.
Alright guys, well, I think I'm going to take 5 real quick, but I will be right back.
That's alright, while you're gone I'm going to go over there and change your character completely.
Good. You do that.
I cleared out this whole place and then forgot to loot what I needed to loot from the body. I have to go back. Cynthia, our community manager, was playing some of the PC version, and I felt kind of bad because she did she did the same thing. She went to do a quest that had you finding a shout, and then she didn't get the shout.
Oh,
I felt really bad.
Oh, actually, I did the same thing with the first one. Yeah, I went because I killed a guy and I looted him and I looted a chest and I was like, oh, awesome. And
So
then I realized later that there was a shout in there as well.
I see Caro's finally learning a new shout.
Yeah, this is a fun one, a whirlwind sprint, which when you do the shout, you, apparently I can't do it again quite yet. Wait, maybe. Yeah, there we go. You just dash forward about 20 paces or so really fast. That's pretty cool.
I didn't end up using it a lot, but there are a couple dungeons where you have to rush past. You have to kind of activate these levers that hold a series of doors open for only so long.
Right.
And so you have to use that shout.
Yeah.
To rush past.
Okay.
Or at least, as far as I could figure out, you have to use that shout to rush past.
Well, I just killed the ghost that I was scared of before, so that wasn't so bad.
Oh, I get to go to a new location finally. Somebody had been asking about all the major cities. I have the main map open with, as far as I know, all of the major cities showing on it. Solitude is one of those cities, possibly my second favorite, perhaps because it's easy to remember the name. Every so often, the other ones sort of blend into each other, winter this, and whatnot. So Markarth might be my favorite city, and if I take a trip there, I'll mention it at some point because it definitely has a different look than the other cities. Of course, there's Whiterun. There's Winter Haven. And what am I missing? There are a couple others. Windhelm and Riften, are some of the biggest cities in the game. And of course, lots of villages scattered around that have, lovely fantasy names like Kynes Grove. One thing that I like about the map, incidentally, is something I know Caro likes too, which is that once you've cleared a dungeon, the map notates that you've cleared the dungeon so that you don't forget and go back there again and kind of waste your time. Drogatorus22 wants to know if there's a level cap. And I feel like I should know this, but I'm not at the level cap. Something tells me that it's something like 50, but I could be way off because none of us reached it. I think Curtis finished the main story at level 21. Close to discovering a new cave. Should I go in there and find out what's up?
Sure.
There might be a shout in there. Justin, you're so careful with your lockpicking.
I am really careful with my lockpicking. I'm always amazed when I see you guys doing it really quickly. I don't want to waste lockpicks.
I like good lockpicking.
Slow and steady wins the race, Kevin.
That is true. And I'm glad they appropriated Fallout's lockpicking. I think it's just probably the right thing to do.
Definitely.
Although, how much Two Worlds 2 did you play earlier this year, Justin? Did you play any at all? Or?
I played none whatsoever.
Okay. It has, I know Tom McShay did, so he might appreciate it. I really liked that game's lockpicking too, so it's nice to have games that take lockpicking seriously. The ring that allows me to cannibalize.
What was the
I'm
question,
so sorry.
Kevin?
I keep doing that. I'm sorry. Who was the
Parcanic.
Parcanic wants to know Carcanic?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, I'm so bad at this. Wants to know if there's, what the perks are and what the disadvantages might be to the cannibalism. And the way it works is it's a ring, so I have to equip the ring in order to be able to cannibalize. And we'll go ahead and look at it because I believe it is a 30% increase to stamina or 50%. Let's take a look. But as far as I know, there are no downsides. Now, on the other hand, I haven't really snacked on anybody in the middle of a town.
Yeah, I'm wondering if people will. I mean, I know if you're visibly a vampire, for instance, people will react very negatively to that.
Oh yeah, and then eventually, if you don't feed,
yeah,
they'll just attack you on sight.
Right. I wonder if you cannibalize somebody in plain sight, if people will maybe look at you a bit askance for such behavior.
Well, in Fallout, they'll be disgusted with you.
Yeah.
They have commented on my bad breath. Once I became a cannibal, they'll say, what have you been eating? Your breath doesn't smell very good.
Shouldn't they be asking, who have you been eating?
Well, but they don't know. But it increases my stamina by 50%, and it does grant you increased health and health regeneration, which is why I usually which is why I like having it. But as far as I know, there are no disadvantages. There might be social disadvantages, but if there are, I have not actually experienced any. And this cave was very small. There doesn't seem to be anything else.
Yeah, I know the condition that I have that that makes me immune to disease also makes it impossible for me to gain any kind of rest bonus from sleeping.
Oh, really?
So there is kind of a trade-off. But then I don't really sleep that much anyway. So
yeah, I often forget.
Yeah.
But then people will say, you know, you look a little sickly.
Oh, they say that to you?
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's because, well, I mean, they'll say that when you become a vampire, or you're diseased. They'll say, oh gosh, you don't look all that good. But I think they say that when you could use a good night's sleep too. Because there are times when they say that, but I'm not afflicted with anything, or I don't have any status effects that would seem to indicate that I'd be diseased or or suffering from anything in one way or another. Well, now I feel like I was kind of a little bit of a waste of time in that cave. There was really nothing to it. Oh, but there is a chest. Lockpicks. It's the ultimate self-fulfilling prophecy, which is picking a lock with for a chest that has lockpicks inside. I'm sorry, I just killed a beautiful snow fox. But I don't want the pelt, so I just did it for the hunt,
for sport.
The thrill of the hunt.
Yes.
And what sport it was.
Yes. You're Justin, you're British. You know that hunting foxes is very exciting.
Not a
for
fan,
many.
I'm afraid.
Oh, hello.
Am I the only one who ever just jumps for no reason in games? Just
because
you might be the only one who does it in this game.
I
do it in plenty of games.
I jumped all the time in Morrowind.
Well, there was a reason for that.
Exactly. And I love that I would just be jumping on tables in bars or whatever, and people, never say anything about it. And I'm just leveling up my athletics skill or whatever it was called.
Oh, there's another cave over here. Lydia, are you back there? Sometimes I forget about Lydia because she just lags behind so much. It's kind of annoying. Oh, there she is. She's back there. Come along, dear. When she's not too far behind, wishing she was there to help out, she's also often standing right next to you in the middle of a small corridor. She just doesn't have any sense of personal space. She's not there when you're lonely, and she's crowding you when you just need to be alone.
So Projo911, I believe, is asking if you can have pets, like if you can actually have pets that you keep, like dogs, or if you can only have kind of conjured, sorts of animals or familiars, I guess. Yeah, to my knowledge, you can't actually have a pet that you keep. Anyone know any differently?
I don't think so. There's always the possibility that there's like a dog meat type companion. That is that it's an animal companion. But if there is, I haven't come across a companion like that.
Oh, hello. Justin's...
I did not know I was about to get into a dragonflight.
Wow.
Did not see that coming. Oh, I don't have anybody with me or anything. Oh, damn it. I don't have all the potions either. Oy, oy, oy. resist not doing you much good against a fire-breathing dragon. Come on, land. Shield is not doing me much good.
Are there any healing spells at all?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a potion and I'll start healing myself, I guess.
The dragon doesn't even have a type associated with it. It's just dragon.
It's just dragon. Shield as a favorite. That's not good. Totally. Oh, where did my shield go?
Justin, I actually just finished my first dragon earlier, and I noticed not having a ranged weapon seemed to work to my disadvantage because he would fly around up above us so much.
They do fly around. Yeah, I don't really have any. Even the magic that I have has very limited range.
I mean, does that feel like an issue, not having?
Oh, you know what? Wherever he is, he's losing health at an alarming rate.
Ooh,
oh,
he
check
sure
out his
is.
health bar.
Yeah.
Huh.
Apparently, he's so. Yeah, he died of fear, I guess. that's the only explanation I can think of.
So it's my turn, I think, to step away for just a moment for a slight break, but I'll return momentarily. I just died in my dungeon.
Oh man, see now I don't know where that dragon died.
I know, now you...
I gotta try and find his body.
To harvest his soul, yes?
Yeah.
I just discovered something called Labyrinthian.
This is cool.
It's a rather cool looking place. Lots of stairs.
It's got stairs.
I like
Nice.
what can I say? I'm a stair
Stairs.
enthusiast.
Yeah, you just finished the 7,000 steps.
I did. I walked all the way.
You think you would have had enough about stairs?
No, I can never get enough stairs.
Oh, stairs. So what are you doing? Oh, voice of God's talking to me.